You spoke to how, whether it was Buddhism or the Bhagavad Gita, there is this idea of becoming a person who speaks the truth, speaks good, does good, and then eventually it leads one to the path of a serious contemplative practice. Now, is that where the inspiration for our system's view of life comes from, or is there something else you think the Eastern view can um, is the Eastern view the foundation of the system's view of life that you've propagated?
Well, no, I think I moved away from my interest in Eastern philosophy over the years,
Okay.
and although it's still as valid for me as it was from the beginning. I also became interested in Western equivalents, especially in the philosophical school of deep ecology. And I see ecology as an ideal bridge between science and spirituality, equally valid to Eastern traditions.
Mm.
And I would say the system's view of life was more is more science-based, with certainly an influence of Eastern traditions. And in fact, my co-author, Pierluigi Luisi, is in a group of scientists who have regular discussions with the Dalai Lama. And so he's also very interested in Buddhism.
Wow.
And one scientist who influenced both of us very much is Francisco Varela, who,
Yes.
who was a Chilean biologist and a practicing Buddhist. So, the Buddhist influence has persisted. But on the whole, I would say I'm not so much turned toward the East anymore.
Okay. Do you feel after the Tao of physics and the past couple decades, the approach of many young scientists is not as aggressive as was the wave against you when you'd first started and written about Eastern mysticism?
Oh,
Mm.
yes, absolutely. Because as I said, there are about a dozen books now about physics and philosophy, physics and Eastern philosophy, physics and mysticism, and so on. So those ideas have spread, and also the whole value system and philosophy of the 1960s of the hippie movement has
Mm,
spread into the mainstream.
right.
So, for instance, if you were a businessman or woman in the 1960s and had a business meeting and were planning something, or a group was planning to do something next week, and you had said, well, on Wednesday I can't because on Wednesday I have my yoga class or my Qigong practice,
Mm,
the people would have looked at you askance and laughed, or even thrown you out.
wow.
But now it's sort of standard.
Nobody-
Nobody,
yeah.
blinks an eye when you say on Tuesday I have my yoga practice. So that has permeated in society, and with it, of course, also the comparison between science and mysticism is now much more accepted than it was 40 years ago.
Mm. Yeah, it's very interesting because there's accounts of Heisenberg or Schrodinger writing about their readings of the Upanishads.
Yes.
They've read the Upanishads and they've commented on it, but it's very convenient for the academic mind to almost disregard that part of their lives.
Yeah, and it was not only Heisenberg and Bohr. It was also Oppenheimer and
Yeah.
other physicists. So that's true.
Yeah.